Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Eagle Eye Podcast. It's episode 12, and we are very, very happy to be back. As always, let me welcome my co host, Mr. Dylan Jimenez. Dylan, how are we, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I just wish we kind of had that little conspiracy music happening whenever we're doing that intro, like from the X-Files, to kick
You know
things
what?
off.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like if you guys don't know this, but we talked about a conspiracy theory last episode about how Piojo doesn't play Linus because Linus is a visual remembrance of La Volpe, and Piojo doesn't like La Volpe. So then, La Volpe's prodigy, which is Linus, is not gonna get played. So that way, Piojo can get back at La Volpe. So it's a lot. So if you guys want to go check that out, make sure you guys check that on the previous episode. But we also have a couple of conspiracy theories that we're going to get to today as well. Apparently, Dylan has insisted that we talk about a Skechers commercial, which I don't quite understand why, but we're going to be talking about that. And who knows? Maybe we'll even get to Club America's loss against Toluca this Saturday. So plenty of things to talk about. We're going to have so much. I'm actually going to have a guest on later on in the show as well, who's going to be coming and discussing the game with us as well. So, Dylan, you ready, or is there anything else you want to add on?
The Saca Americanista already here. Notification squad. I guess they got your notifications on whenever we go live.
That's
So
right.
shout out to them.
For those of you who want to be on the notification squad as well, make sure you guys click that little bell on YouTube if you guys are watching us on YouTube, and on Twitter. You guys can put that notification bell on Twitter and be like, "Oh, okay, so this person is live." So I mean, if you guys want to be part of the notification squad, I think La Resaca would vouch for us, saying it's a pretty cool squad to be in. All right, like I said, packed show today. We're gonna be breaking down everything that happened on Saturday's Club America. Can I join? I have a Gmail. You want to join? All right. What do you say? Dylan should
Yeah. Let's bring
yeah.
them on.
All right,
Yeah.
bring them on. Yo, shoot me your email, and we will get you on right now, because I feel like the more people we have to discuss about this, the more it's gonna be better for the viewer, the listener, and everyone that's involved around this. And who knows, maybe he has an insight on our conspiracy theories as well. So while we get his email going, let's remember that there is a lot to talk about in this 2-1 defeat against Toluca. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the CCL and everything going on there. Toronto FC is the team we're going to be playing come April. Of course, we're going to dive a little bit into that. We're not going to get too much into it, but we'll definitely get into that as well. Dylan, while I add Mr. Alan Tomayo, anything else you want to tell the listeners?
Guys, we'll just keep saying it over and over, but thank you for your continuous support. Stay tuned. Me and Ivan are currently working on another giveaway. We have some ideas of what we might want to give away, whether it be a scarf. I have another idea in mind that I haven't given the idea to. So hopefully we
God, I
get
hope
to
it's not a
that.
sneaker.
No, it's not a sneaker. No, it's a really good idea. It's something that I want to buy too for myself. So I mean, just kind of stick around for that. But guys, you gotta retweet us. You gotta share the page on Twitter. Because once we hit those 200 followers, that's whenever our next giveaway is gonna be. So just keep sharing and just show the love. I mean, we appreciate everything you guys do whenever it comes to just following us, giving us the feedback. Maybe one day too we'll bring another fellow Americanista on too as well.
Yeah, that's definitely something we want to do. Remember, our goal for this podcast is to build a community, to grow a community within the English language Liga MX. And those people who support America, we kind of want to be your guys' voice, but we also want to be the gateway for you guys to kind of share and express your opinions and your voices as well. So that's always been our goal here, and it's always going to continue to be that. I think me and Dylan really, we're happy to do this because this is something that we feel is right at the moment. And of course, being the biggest club in Mexico, I think it's fair enough that we have our own community within this English language community as well. So again, thank you guys for everything you guys have supported us. And like Dylan said, make sure you guys follow us on I was gonna say iTunes, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Eagle iPod, and you guys will be damn, can't even speak, losing my train of thought. You guys will be up to date with everything. Sorry, because I was actually thinking we are also on iTunes and SoundCloud. So if for whatever reason you guys miss a live show, we're always on those platforms. And you guys can always listen to us on the go. So I don't want to get to the game just yet because I'm waiting for Alan to come on and I'm waiting for Axel to come on as well. But anything you want to address in regards to the club? Any, I wouldn't say news because that's going to be a different segment, but just anything randomly that you've thought about that you want to address.
Anything randomly? I mean, towards the game, I guess you could say it's more towards the game and about maybe the tactics Biojo's setting up. But no, I mean, not really. I mean, I'll probably bring it up once we review the Toluca game. But I mean, I don't really got nothing to say right now, other than the fact that we're gonna win the 13th title this year.
That is exactly the attitude we need to have going forward with this, because there will be a lot of people who are bummed out, who rightly so. We should be at this moment bummed out. We should be at this moment a little bit furious about what's going on, and hopefully we can pick up our heads and go and move forward and realize that, hey, we can win this 13th title and we will win this 13th title. So I mean, maybe tell the listeners where so you said you were going to watch this game at a bar, but then opted out and you watched this at home, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I just stayed at home. I didn't feel like going out no more, so I was just chilling in my house watching the game. And so I mean, there I was able to take out my frustrations and yell or pound against the floor.
And there was plenty
because there was plenty of frustration. So I mean, nobody was able to see me or hear me. So yeah, and after the game, I decided to go grab some Whataburger breakfast because why not? That was something I need.
For those of you who don't know, the best cure to the soul is food. I will stand by that forever, like ever. So we're getting so off topic here, but for those of you who are tuning in and who have gotten this far, we appreciate that. We're trying to get Mr. Alan Tomayo from La Resaca Americanista to come on, and we'll definitely get things going from there. In the meantime, I guess we're just kind of extending the show just a little longer, just until he's able to get on the show. Wow. Oh, Mexican national team's coming up Friday. What's your prediction there?
Oh man, with it being how it is right now and what I've told you happened to me before I got on the pod, dude, I just completely forgot about it. But I don't know, man. It's not even on my mind right now, to be honest with you. So if I really had to just put something on right now, I'd probably go to 2-1 win.
2-1 win. Did you like the roster?
I mean, there was a few that I was like about. I mean, overall, I think it was a good roster. I was really excited to see
Govea.
Govea, yeah. Just because he's from the academy, and he could have been an America player, but like I said, he didn't even make his debut with the team and already moved to Europe with Porto, and then Porto loaned him out to the Belgium side, and so he's doing excellent there. So that's something I'd like to see and glad to see. And then obviously you have Edson and Oribe there too, so it's good signs to see too as well.
And if we're talking about ex-Americanistas, you also have Ochoa, you also have Diego Reyes, you have Miguel Ayun, and you also have Raul Jimenez. So I mean, we're out there, we're supporting, we're giving fruit to the Mexican national team.
Yeah, man. So I mean, it's good to see, and it's awesome to see to be able to produce the players that are at that level to represent not only their club but their country too as well.
No, yeah, dude, I agree, and it should definitely be a very interesting matchup. You know, I think a 2-1 would be a little bit disappointing. I think I think I'm looking for this Mexican national team to go out there and perform and showcase that we are going to be a very good candidate come World Cup time. And I think it should be roughly anywhere between 3-1 or 3-0. That I would be happy with.
Okay, yeah, I get you. I mean, just like I said, man. I mean, I'm just what happened and me being a little busy. I really haven't time to look at the roster that closely. You know, give my thoughts on what a starting 11 would be, or really assess like what a predicted score was. So I mean, but I get you too, man.
Yeah. Did you hear about oh what's his name? What's his name? Juan Carlos Osorio's statement saying that he has roughly his 23 players already selected.
Yeah, I mean, I read a report saying that he doesn't have nothing selected, like everything's still open. But then I saw something else saying that he roughly has a majority of the slots already filled. So I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to believe.
I guess we'll never really know. So we have our guest on, Mr. Alan. How are you? Oh,
Oh no, we can't hear
looks
him.
like we're still having a little bit of technical difficulties. We can't hear you yet. Um, let's see. Let's wait for him. We should have like some like funny little background music. I need like a soundboard thing. Okay, you muted your mic. I can see that. Okay, now you're unmuted.
Like if it's Jeopardy. Do
We
do
need like a
do
sound.
do.
Damn, like a what's that thing? Like the board that makes all the sound effects.
Like a soundboard? Like
Oh,
that
what's the board that makes all the sounds? Oh man.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you now,
Yes.
my friend.
Yeah, got you, man.
Let's go.
You
How you
good or
doing?
good? All right. We're in business now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about everything that happened on Saturday's matchup. We got Mr. Alan Tomayo from La Resaca Americanista, who is live from Mexico himself. Alan, ¿cómo andamos?
How you doing, guys? Pretty good. A little pissed off of the game. We were totally robbed. The referee, I don't know, man. Perez Duran did an awful work. I'm still a little pissed.
I think the whole community is still, I mean, and I'm not just talking about the people here in the United States. I think you see a window down there in Mexico too. Everyone's still kind of talking about it. And probably will continue to be like that until the Clásico Joven.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
like
Well,
10 days.
go ahead. All right, we got so much to talk about. We're gonna break everything down that happened with Mr. Alan Tamayo and when Axel comes in as well. And Dylan, you ready for this?
Yeah, man. I'm always ready.
All right, let's get started. So Saturday's matchup, it was at the Estadio Azteca, 7 o'clock at night here in California. It was 9 o'clock over there. Actually, no, I'm lying. I'm totally lying. We did the hour change here, so the matchup was 8 o'clock here and 10 o'clock over there in Mexico and sunny Texas as well. So, our expectations were definitely going into the Estadio Azteca and walking away with the result. And as a result, I mean a W, a victory. So obviously we don't get that. And let me address something first that I think everyone's going to be saying this is the reason why we lost. I did not watch the match live, and people have been telling me that the reason why we lost was because I did not watch this game live. Do you agree with that, Dylan? Am I the reason to
No, I do
blame?
not. No, Ivan, you're never the reason to blame, man. You're
Because
the
I've been
host
going
of this
about
podcast, and you should be respected.
I've been going around my day thinking, "Wow, this is all my fault. I let the community down, and because of that, America didn't win." But shout out to Christian who brought this up to my attention. So I just want to get that out the way. All right, gentlemen. So coming into this, Alan, I know you were there in the stadium yourself. What was the environment like before kickoff?
Well, it was good. There was a good attendance. There was a hashtag the week before, and I think the people there were like 37,000, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I saw.
It was a very good attendance, and it was, man, Azteca goes wild before the game, but after the 8th minute when the referee didn't give us the second goal, I don't know. All the Azteca was very mad, man.
I could imagine. I can imagine. What was your what were you feeling like, Dylan, coming into this matchup? You know, it's Univision's broadcasting this. You've seen all these fans. You've seen everything, the pitch, everything. What's going through your mind? What are your feelings about this?
It's an exciting matchup. We're at home at the Azteca. Like Alan said, it gets crazy before kickoff, and it was a good attendance rate. We expected the fans to show up, and the fans are behind the team, expecting a win. And so, obviously the atmosphere is going to be good, and we feel confident. I feel confident in the team going out and getting the W before kickoff.
So obviously expectations and feelings were definitely very, very high, especially after coming off that victory against Staudo FC over there in Panama. Now, let's talk briefly lineups. We obviously knew what the lineup was going to be since Friday. Did you gentlemen feel like it was the right lineup, or did you feel that Piojo maybe kind of messed up in this one, and because of that, that was one of the reasons why we weren't able to get the 3 points away?
Well, maybe I think he's messing up with Menes starting, but it's like we're already used to it. But Paul Aguilar was suspended. Edson Alvarez was playing right back, but he did good because when he was playing right back against Pachuca, he had an awful match. But I think he did a great work Saturday night. But the rest of the lineup, well, Carlos Vargas, but that's all we have. I think it was a very good lineup, and Menes got the assist.
Yeah, yeah. Dylan, what was your take on the lineup?
No, I think it was a good lineup. I looked at this lineup and I saw it and I said, this is the lineup that's going to go out and get us 3 points against Toluca. And I had confidence in this lineup too. We're starting to see Menez get a lot more playing time, which is good. We want to see the Frenchman get into the rhythm a lot more, and to see in that. And we'll probably go into this a little more when we talk more into the game. But you also see what seems to be Menez Oribe partnership that's building a lot more and gaining confidence.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely see something definitely springing in that partnership. So let's talk the game. Let's talk about what happened. So opening minutes, America gets a goal right away, but we weren't on the ball right away. It looked like Toluca was pressing us back, and because I think maybe both teams were barely settling in, tactically on the pitch, we get them on a very, very good counterattack where Renato Ibarra finishes off in a 1-on-1 situation. How do you guys take the first opening minutes? Do you guys like how America starts off, or do you guys think maybe we can do and should be doing better? Because I feel like when I'm watching this, it looks like Toluca is putting the pressure on right away, and we're kind of scrambled. We're not so sure how to take it. Although we see this window open and we get the goal, still I feel like we weren't really our best in the first opening minutes, and Toluca looked a little bit more dangerous.
Yes, but Toluca is a very good team. They got their fifth win in a row, and in the first minutes, they didn't get scared for the Azteca, but in the first counterattack, when Renato Ibarra, I thought he maybe was going to miss, but a very good goal, and the same thing in the 7th minute, but the referee.
Yeah, we should have had a second one. I want to get to that right now.
One, and then in the next play they got the equalizer, and then everything went down.
Yeah, everything started going a little bit sideways after that. But before we get to that referee call, Dylan, I want to throw my original question back to you first. You see how this team starts off. You like how obviously no one's gonna say no, but you like how we get the goal. But do you think maybe we started off good, or should we have done better?
Maybe like you said, it should have been a little better. To look at applying that pressure really early on, and it felt like the first half they're really applying the whole pressure. And so but it shows that we can counterattack. It shows that we can find those spaces open the open space to those players, like we saw with Renato Ibarra whenever we gave him the ball and he scored the goal. But it's to the sense too that you also got to pick it up. You also got to know what's going on, and we can't just. We see that we can counterattack, like I said, but we can always just rely on that too. You got to be able to figure out how to get the possession back.
No, yeah, I agree. So now I kind of want to I kind of want to be like the club and say we're not gonna talk about the referee, and I want to be like that. But in a game like this, where that he has influenced in such a big way, it's hard not to take a stand on this. It's hard not to talk about the referee because, like Alan mentioned, we get a legitimate goal, a second goal right away, which would automatically have us, dominate that matchup. We would have controlled everything moving forward, regardless of how Toluca wanted to respond. We get that, and things change. And we're talking about a different matchup, and we're over here, and we all three of us have a big smile on our face because we continue the unbeaten run, blah, 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 blah. And you go back and you see the play. For those of you who maybe didn't see it, it's Menes applying pressure on a Toluca defender. I don't exactly remember who it was. The defender falls over. It looks like Menes clips him, right? But doesn't absolutely whatsoever. The player completely dives. Menes then wins the ball back. Oribe finds the back of the net. Referee calls it back because there's a foul. Right? You go back and there's no foul whatsoever. No foul whatsoever. How do you gentlemen explain this? Because this is something, do you think maybe the referee's positioning was wrong? Maybe did the auxiliaries not give him enough help? Like, what was it about this play that you guys thought, well, I could see why he called it a foul?
Well, I think every referee that has a game for America, they always have an extra pressure, man. They always have that extra pressure, and I think in things like that are very confusing, they prefer to give the foul to Toluca, but I think he really messed up all the game, and you can see it also in the yellow cards. He gave yellow cards for everything, and I think that pressure that the referee has, I think like a referee like Fernando Guerrero, I think that would have been a very option, but Perez Duran, I think he did a really bad work, or maybe Cesar Arturo Ramos that are better referees that can handle these pressures. That Arturo Ramos has been in a club World Cup final. Referees like that should be doing these games.
Yeah, because it was a big game. It was. I believe it was second versus third. Both tied on 21 points before coming into this matchup. It was a huge game in regards to how the league table was going to look like afterwards. So it sucks that the referee kind of falls short on this moment, because this is the last thing you want to talk about on a show like this. This is the last thing you want to talk about, a referee decision going bad, going sideways, because we want to focus on the team. We want to focus on the football that was played on the pitch, and when the referee kind of starts, tinting the game with his bad calls and everything, then you kind of get away from what you should be talking about and start focusing about what the referee has done, and that's always never a fun thing to do. But unfortunately, we do have to talk about this because it was such a big call. It was such a big effect on the game that a couple, like you said, the next play Toluca gets the equalizer. But I think before that, we kind of have to give a kind of a praise, because even after we score on Toluca's still trying to apply that pressure. Toluca's still going at us. They're still charging at us. They're still playing Sambuesa, who, by the way, looked like the best player on the pitch. I mean, absolutely looked motivated, whether it was because he was coming back to the Azteca, because he was playing against America. I don't know what it was, but the guy looked like he was playing amazing, and he was. So Toluca keeps applying this pressure. Toluca keeps going at it, and even regardless of the call that the referee gives, you see that they were very determined that no matter what happened, they were going to go at us. They were going to play the two por two. So, what was your initial take on this, Dylan? Since you were the one who was watching this live.
When Toluca scored.
Yeah, just a little bit prior to that, just to see the reaction after we score, that they still have that pressure going.
I mean, it was no surprise to me, because like we talked about when the opening goal, we see Toluca still applying that pressure. And, I kind of figured, at this point, they're going to keep applying that pressure. And kind of going back to Sambuesa, we see Sambuesa covering every part of the pitch. There probably wasn't one area in the pitch that he hasn't covered. And he covered the whole pitch, whether not necessarily within those 10, 11 minutes when they scored, but throughout the entire game. And so, I mean, kind of like when you talked about it, you look at Marchesín position whenever he's parrying that ball away. The ball doesn't necessarily fall going back onto the outside; it goes towards the middle. And then you start to wonder too, well, where's everybody else who's not picking up Sambuesa? And so, leading those two mistakes right there alone led to what was the equalizer.
Okay, so good question. Who do you guys think is at fault? Is there just one individual whose fault it is that we concede, or is it a collective group? Is it the whole team that's at fault for this one?
I don't know. I think Marchesín didn't have his best game of the tournament. I think it was his worst game of the tournament, and you can see he was a little nervous too. I don't know why. There was a play where he gave the ball to a Toluca player right in front of him, and I think he could have done better in both goals. But I don't know. When you have a play like that in a free kick or a corner kick, I think it's more a collective fault than an individual.
Okay, and you, Dylan, where's your stand on the first goal? Who do you think's at fault?
I mean, I hate to really say it, but it's got to start with somebody, and so I really hate to put the blame all on Marchesín. So I mean, I see it as a collective because like I said, nobody picked up Sambuesa, nobody was there to clear the ball out, but it also started with Marchesín. Like I talked to you about, his positioning was off. The ball went back into the middle. Whenever goalkeepers are taught to parry the ball to the outside, not in the middle, and we see why and stuff like that. Nobody picked up Southwest in the end too. So I mean, really, it can be a collective team mistake, but also it's got to start with Marchesín too as well.
Do you think maybe Sambuesa's goal is a little bit lucky?
No.
No. No one thinks that he shot that ball wrong, and it just luckily for his sake went opposite of the post and beat everyone else. You guys think he was actually trying that?
Well, he's a great player. He has a very good feet, and I think the shot was meant to do that. I don't know. He's a very good player. We know him, and I think it was in purpose.
Dylan?
I mean, whenever he hit the ball, he's probably thinking, "Oh, my shots could have gone on goal," but he probably just didn't think where.
I don't know. I'm gonna speculate that he was trying to just kind of like shoot towards goal, and he hits it wrong, and a su fortuna that ball ends up going that way. But regardless of the fact, a goal is a goal, right? It changes the game. It changes the face of everything. My initial reaction was, I want to see how our reaction is after conceding that goal, just the same way how Toluca's reaction was after they conceded their first goal. I wanted to see something that would showcase, okay, even though we conceded, we're still going to go out there and we're still going to go score. Kind of like in the matchup against Morelia where, we were winning and then they equalized right away. But then after that, we went on and we went to go, dominate that matchup afterwards. That's what I wanted to see from us, especially at home with everything on the line, which was, the unbeaten run, the first top 3 spots, everything. I wanted to see in America go out there and perform and showcase that we are way better. It doesn't matter if you score on us. We're going to go out there and we're going to score 2-3 on you. But I didn't see that. Did you guys see that? Did you guys like the reaction right away from the team after we conceded?
No, I mean, this team just to me seemed to lack a little bit of motivation. A few players that were on the pitch seemed to have such a slow start to the game, and one of those players to me was Guido Rodriguez. To me, it seemed like Guido had such a slow start to this game, but slowly started building up, getting back into the game and being the Guido we know. But I just didn't see that from everybody. I just didn't see the motivation really as much as we wanted to.
Alan?
I don't know. I think Guido Rodriguez had a very good game. I think that the one player that didn't appear in the first minutes after the goal, it was Cecilio Dominguez. I think he didn't have his best game. Menez
Mhm.
was the one that played very well. Well, you can see in the first goal and our second goal, he was the main man. But Bernat Ibarra also had a good game. Uriel Peralta, but he's more than a striker that gets the goals, not that creates his own goals. But I think that the the team did it really good. I think that the reaction wasn't as bad as you're saying, but the Menez injury, the Valdez red card. That I think that it's not an excuse, but it really had a factor on the result and in the rest of the second half.
Yeah, no, I think you point out something very important. It's not an excuse, but it still plays into the factor, because at this stage of the season, we don't have anyone else to blame but ourselves, and that's the way we should look at it. There should be no excuses why we can't go out there and get a win. Regardless of everything that happens, we should have the talent. This is what the team was built on. That's why we have all this depth. That's why we have all these talented players who could fit in any lineup in any other team in Liga MX. You know, I think we kind of let ourselves down in this game. You know, I think the players did not, push to the maximum. This is something we talked about, Dylan. It could be a little bit of fatigue. Some of these players, of course, coming, from back-to-back games. So I mean, for example, we said Marchesin did not have his best match in an America jersey this season, but I mean, he played last week against Jesus, who do we play last Saturday? I can't even remember.
Leon, yeah, Leon.
Leon. Okay, plays against Leon. Then has to go and travel down to Panama, play against Tauro. Then has to travel all the way back to Mexico, and then start again in net against Toluca. I mean, that kind of that has a little bit of wear and tear on someone. So I'm not saying that he was jet lagged or anything, but I'm saying that it could be a factor of fatigue. But still, you
I
knew
don't
that this was happening.
I don't think so. Something I pointed out after the game on Sunday is that Guido Rodriguez, Marquezin, Cecilio Dominguez, there are three players that we are talking about that didn't have their best game. They maybe had a little of lack of motivation. I think it was that they were not concentrated enough because the day after they were in Cancun, they
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 were already chilling.
they flew to Cancun. I think it was in Saturday night. I think they had their heading in Cancun. Maybe something that I think, but I don't think it was a lack of motivation. It was that they were not concentrated enough on the game.
Okay, interesting. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to see that from your team. From especially three players that have been a main focus point for the team actually performing well. So, Dylan, how do you take this, knowing that the result is 2-1? They don't have their best game, and then you see them straight chilling in the beach. Come Sunday.
I'm to me, it's literally speechless because it tells me like what does this club mean to the players, and what is the rest of the run, the playoff run, the Champions League run mean to these players if they're just worried about their next vacation or their next paycheck. I mean, I don't like that. I want somebody who wants to show that they have the passion for this club, for this team, when they put on that jersey week in and week out, and not worried about what's going to happen after the game.
Question for you, Alex.
I mean,
sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, it just sucks. It just sucks to see that. I mean, I didn't know that, and I mean, now that Alan brought that up, it sucks to hear that. Like you said, they probably left that night after the game, and obviously, I guess that didn't mean nothing to them. The game really.
I think that they thought the game was already won, and they were playing not at this 100%. They were thinking about something else. They thought that they were going to win the game, but I don't know. They didn't play at their 100%.
They didn't, and that's frustrating. That's frustrating. Question for you, Alan. These three players that we mentioned, Cecilio, Guido, and Marchesin, do you think they feel the colors? Do you think they feel a passion for the club, or it's just another team for them?
I don't know, man. That's a really hard question. The only one that can answer that is them. But I don't know, man. I think, like, for example, Marchesin, is a player that has a really good connection with the people. You can see it in Cuapa, in the videos that are in social media. That he's very happy in the club. But I don't think that maybe he doesn't feel the colors, but maybe he's very compromised. He's a very professional player. And also Guido is very young. Cecilio Dominguez is very young. They are both 23 years old, and I don't know. It's a really hard question, a really hard thing to debate. But I don't know.
The
You
only
can,
reason I ask is because you know, as a long time Americanista, just like I know, there have been plenty of players down the line who have played for us and feel nothing for the jersey, and because of that, they perform so horrible, just so horrible. And you kind of don't want you kind of don't want players that are gonna go down that path as well. You know, for example, Rodolfo Montenegro, you know, someone who was just probably there just because he had to be there. He didn't feel anything for us. He didn't really care much about the situation. I can go down the line and give you plenty of people that I've seen put on an America jersey that just can not care less about their what they feel towards the club. And I
yes,
feel like it's a little bit important that they know the history, that they know what they're playing for, and they have a connection. I think you said it right. A connection, like the way Marchesin has a connection, because you see it, yeah, and I know you and everyone down at La Resaca Americanista probably see it more because you guys are a little bit more in tune with the club, but you kind of see it, because he's a very passionate player, but you kind of get a sense that he understands what he's representing.
but at the end of the day, it's their job. You can't sign in the contract that you are going to be in love with the colors. At the end, you want players that are professionals that will give their 100% in the field, not a player that loves the club but doesn't play very good. I rather have like Marchesin. He's a very good player, but maybe if he doesn't feel the colors, I'm okay with that. If he's playing at his 100%, and it's their job, man. You can ask them to kiss the badge like Henry Martin, but for example, Guido, Cecilio Dominguez, that maybe they are not so passionate about the club, but they are employees of the club, man. At the end of the day, if their job, they are people like us. You are not going to have fans playing for us for the club. They are employees, man, and they also have their vacation. They really need the this week of Fecha FIFA. They need to rest a little bit, man. They are people at the end of the day, and this is their job.
No, yeah, I understand that. I just think it's a little bit of an added bonus when they do kind of represent the color. But huge shout out right now to our man Axel, who just joined the live feed. Axel had thank you for coming on the pod, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you,
Axel,
for having me on.
We also have Mr. Alan Tomayo on. I know we talked about him a little bit, so you want to say your hellos.
What's up? How's it going?
Alrighty, gentlemen. Now that we're all here, let's finish talking about this Toluca matchup. Let's finish talking about what happened, what went wrong. Obviously, Menes goes down, injury, 41st minute of the match. Did you like what Piojo Herrera did in his substitution? I'm asking all three of you. Did you think that Piojo's substitution was the right one? He brings in Joe Benny Corona. At that point, already remember, Bruno Valdez had received his second yellow, which meant he was off the pitch. Did you guys like the switch? Did you guys think that this was the right move? I'll start off with you with Dylan.
I think so, because I mean, it's Joe Corona. I mean, it's not the most exciting option, but it's the option there. We've seen what Joe Corona can do alongside Guido a little bit whenever we've seen them play alongside. But I mean, we see Corona, really sitting back. It just seems to me though that we've got a little bit too defensive towards the end, and to me, I mean, we'll talk about this a little later, but it eventually is inevitable to concede that second goal. But I mean, going forward, I think it was the right sub to sub in Joe Benny Corona too as well.
Okay, Axel, did you think it was the right move by
I mean,
Piojo?
it was a good move to like maintain the game. Um, he probably didn't want to go like all out. He didn't want to go like attacking. He didn't want to put. I mean, he could have chose Andres Ibargüen, but he decided to play with Joe Corona because he wanted to maintain the game. Wanted to keep the midfield solid. Um, keeping having the possession of the ball, and at the same time being able to play, and not like Andres Ibargüen who would be just constantly attacking, wouldn't be able to, doesn't give you what Joe Corona gives you, like ball possession, all of that. He's able to defend, he's able to attack. So yeah, that's what I think his decision was over Joe Corona, simply because of that.
Okay, Alan, do you feel the same way? Do you think Joe was the right move?
Just thinking about it when you asked, I think it was the right move because if you notice, we changed to a five defenders line.
Mm-hmm.
We have Renato Ibarra playing as a left wing, and then we have Edson Alvarez, Bruno Valdez, and Manuel Aguilera, and then we have Carlos Vargas,
Mm-hmm.
and in the midfield we have Corona, Guido, and Uribe. And Uribe was playing more like a little bit to the right, more attacking. And then up we have Cecilio Dominguez and Oribe Peralta.
Yeah.
But Cecilio Dominguez disappeared the whole game. Oribe Peralta as well, and Uribe maybe was a little bit the one that was going to create the game, but I don't know, man. All the second half, we didn't create a lot of chances, but that's the only move that I think was the best we could have done.
Because yeah, it's a good move because you kind of fill in a gap there because you're able to switch because your players are a little bit so versatile that you're able to move into that lineup, that back five. Of course, would have been a back four because Bruno was gone, but you still had that coverage, which was the most important part. I think you had coverage, which meant you weren't going to leak so much at the back with a very good Toluca pushing forward. So it does suck that towards the end of the half this happens, so you kind of get to move around your pieces a little bit early, but it is what it is. um the half ends, it's a draw at that point. Once halftime ends, do you gentlemen have faith that we're gonna go out there and still find a way to get the victory, or are you guys happy enough with a draw, knowing that we've had a goal disallowed and we also have a man down? What was your guys' thoughts at halftime, Alan?
I thought we were going to win, man. Yes, we're America. We are a little used to our these hazañas, and
Mm-hmm.
I really think we were going to win. Their second goal was also fuera de lugar, in offside.
Yeah.
But Uribe also had one that could have been our 2-1. I think we were going to win, but I don't know. We didn't have that little bit of luck. The referee also was all the game. I don't know with how many yellow cards we end up. I don't know. I really didn't like the game as much as I would like to, but I don't know. The referee, our a little of bad luck. I don't know, man. It was a game that I didn't enjoy it a lot, but I really think we were going to win. Well, I hope so.
So that was your, yeah. Okay. Axel, what was your thoughts
I
halftime
mean,
going into this?
we were definitely capable of trying to win the game. We were capable of winning, but at the end, we just didn't. There's a miss that Andres Ibargüen just no, I mean
Hello, Axel. It looks
We
yeah.
like,
lost him.
oh,
Okay.
oh, he's
Am I
back.
lagging?
Just go back
All
from
right.
what you were saying.
So I was saying we were definitely capable of winning the game, but I mean that miss that Mateos missed, it was a clear option for goal, but at the end he missed it. Yeah, I mean I didn't watch too much of the game because I was at an event, but of what I saw, we were definitely capable of winning the game. But it would have been nice as well if we got the tie and not lose the undefeated streak.
Okay, Dylan, your thoughts? Halftime going into this, man down 1-1. What you think? You have faith in the team that they can come out and get the victory, or you okay with a point?
I did have faith in the team to come out and get the victory, but I also was happy if we were to get the point too as well. Because the team did show some brilliance at times. It just sucked to see Menez go off because I think Menez was the whole factor of keeping Oribe in the game. But like Alan said, he feels like Oribe slowly faded and disappeared from the game, and I think Menez was the key to keeping Oribe in the game. But it sucked to see Menez go off. And so from there, I mean, and especially after the red card, I just felt like the attack slowly started dying a little bit. But we did have those few chances, and I think, okay, I guess luck's going to be on our side. Something's got to give eventually, but obviously nothing ever gave.
Lady Luck was definitely not on our side for this matchup, obviously.
Yeah.
So second half rolls in. I feel most of the people would have expected a better Club America. Even at 10 men, you still expected something. You still wanted something from this team, a push, a drive, something to showcase that, we were definitely going to be the better side, even with 10 men. But we didn't really get that, did we? Like you said, Uribe kind of, Oribe. Oribe Peralta, kind of disappears a little bit, but it's not really his fault. You don't really get the same service once you're down a man. I think Alan was right in saying that Mateus Oribe kind of had this pressure to be the man to create because Cecilia was, like he said, virtually inexistent in this matchup. This was the old Cecilio Dominguez, the Cecilio Dominguez that we didn't really like as much, the one that was kind of disappearing, fading in and out of games. Not ideal, especially in a matchup like this. So it sucks. And, there's, like you guys, all you mentioned, there's moments in the matchup where we have, an opportunity here, an opportunity there. And, and granted, Toluca, even though, they get the W, they weren't I'm not gonna say they weren't the better side. I'm just saying that they didn't really show that they were the most dangerous one on the pitch. If you go chance by chances, I think we had a better opportunity, and Lady Luck was on their side for this matchup, and they get that goal in the free kick opportunity. But did you guys feel that maybe? Did you guys feel that Toluca was the better side, or do you guys think that ultimately we were still the better team?
No, I think we were better, the better team. That's maybe the thing that pisses me off the most. I think we were absolutely better than Toluca. Maybe not that much, but we were better than them. I don't know. I'm very very mad at the referee, the result. But at the end of the day, I rather have this L in the tournament than yeah. So but I
That's
really
true.
think America is still one of the very teams in the league, and that we are going to get the CONCACAF and the league.
The doblete. Axel, what's your take on it? Do you think we were still the better side?
Yeah, we were definitely the better side, but I mean, with the 10 man at the very beginning, with Menes getting injured, with the ref on not on our side, giving us yellows and all that, that definitely sums it all up. And I mean, we were a better team, but at the end, the ref wasn't on our side, so that gave a big factor in why we lost an offside goal, which wasn't marked. And yeah, that's what I think.
And you know what? It's true. As much as the team wants to play it down, like we're not gonna talk about the ref. That's not how we do things anymore in America.
Yeah,
I You still think that all of this going on the pitch has to affect the player. They have
yeah,
to be thinking, and it's got to get to their head. And you granted you can understand if their heads go down a little bit because as a player, I would imagine you feel like the world's against you in this matchup.
the
So
pressure,
Yeah,
yeah, the pressure, everything going
the
against
the
you. I
needed
mean,
pressure, yeah, to
it's
maintain it.
it's got to
this
be.
All
Televisa Deportes did they always have this section that is called the voices of the pitch or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and you can hear the players were really mad. I have a clip of Marchesin that was
oh
really
yeah,
pissed off. Yeah, I will show it to you, but of course it damages
The
the play a
frustration.
lot for sure. Let me show you. Look, look at Machacin.
There it is. There it is. The frustration.
Yeah.
Sheer
The ref.
frustration. So I'm sure that played as a part as well. So Dylan, what's I would imagine you agree with these two gentlemen as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, just if I'm gonna be real honest, I'm just like slightly better, but obviously, I'm gonna say, Medico was better. I mean, we were better on the ball. We were better. I feel like going forward and everything, but it's just the ref wasn't on our side. Just I don't know. I mean, just it's just all seems to go back to that about the ref.
I don't want it to make it sound like we're saying, making it sound like it's an excuse, because it's not an excuse. It's just a factor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just an added factor. That's it. We're not saying that, the ref is the reason we lost. No, I'm saying the ref adds into the fact that we lost. That there's an added factor to that. So ultimately, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I want to touch upon a little bit about the little bit of the WWE that happened in the Estadio Azteca. As you guys all saw, Piojo Herrera not even going at it. It was Cristante going at Piojo
Yeah.
Herrera. What was your guys' take on that?
It was crazy, man. Cristante went a little off. I think, and also the referee should have sent off only Cristante, man. If you see, they are discussing like every match that they discuss, but Cristante is the one that goes to Miguel Herrera's neck, and I really think, and Miguel Herrera, and also in the video show you in the whole clip, Miguel Herrera is telling the ref that why both of us, why both of us, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's right. It's rightly so. Like, why is he gonna take Piojo? Piojo, maybe it's his reputation that kind of
Yeah.
plays a little bit, a factor in this. But he did nothing wrong. He's talking to Cristante verbally, just the way Cristante's talking to him, and I don't know what sets him off. Grabs him, literally, I would imagine chokes him for a little bit. It's ridiculous that the referee takes a, yeah. And what's even more ridiculous is you have your auxiliar right there, the fourth referee.
Yes.
It's ridiculous that he doesn't step in and says, no, my guy, it was just Cristante. Herrera did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do anything. He chokes him, yeah, he pushes him off, but that's it.
The referee was a little tired of Miguel Herrera telling him all the faults of the referee, but yeah, the four referee should have done better and telling the main referee that, but I don't know, man.
It's ridiculous. I mean, because you gotta give your hat off to Piojo, because 3-4 years ago, Piojo would have knocked Cristante out. He would have gone for the punch. But no, this was a very calm Piojo. Said, okay, you choked me, but I'm gonna stand my ground, and he didn't, because he knows what's more important is not to get into a fight with another coach. What's more important is staying on the pitch and pushing his players forward. And unfortunately, the referee looks at it that way.
Their fault because they weren't in the rectangle that is in the pitch for the coaches, and it was fault of the vote, but I think Vicente should have been the only center.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. What's your take on this, Dylan?
I didn't know what was going on. Whenever I was watching it, it cut to it, and I'm just like, whoa, like, look at this fight, and then like, I'm just like, well, what's going on? Like, I kind of wanted to know, just like on the inside, like why they were kind of like fighting, like what Piojo might have said to make Kristen mad or something like that, and I don't know, like I was weird, and then like I see Piojo go off too. I'm like, why is Piojo going off? What did Piojo do? I mean, like, I kind of get the sense in the fact too that Piojo was kind of like that too in the past. His reputation is like that too. But I mean, at the end of the day, we can't change nothing, man.
What was Axel? What did you like to see? Did you like the wrestler Piojo?
I mean, it was pretty funny, like watching at first, like what happened, but definitely wrong of what Cristante did. It's not, I mean, mature at all to be doing that kind of stuff, especially choking someone, violent conduct and all that. I mean, yeah, he deserves to get sent off. not Piojo. Piojo should have stayed because he was just probably defending himself, like trying to get off his like hand off them. And but at the end of the day, they both got a game suspended for the next matches, and we're not gonna have Piojo for the match against Cruz Azul. So that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. That is a little bit of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie, but we've been in this situation before, you know. So
Yeah.
there's people on the live chat that say they hope that we play Toluca in the playoffs. Do you guys feel the same way? Do you guys want to play Toluca in the playoffs and get kind of quote unquote revenge on them?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Definitely. All right, Dylan.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, just it'll be a different outcome, a different game too.
A very very interesting matchup. Axel.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be bad at all.
All
We
right, I think
demonstrated that we're
all
capable.
three, and I'll even add myself on there. Yes, I will take a America Toluca. What do you guys like? Quarterfinals or semifinals?
Semifinals.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
semi.
I think it is going to be in the semifinals. I think Toluca is a great team. They're going to get to the semifinals, and I think they go against us.
Semifinals. You guys heard it here first. Go put everything in on the bookies. Make sure put every money you got because we promise you that we're gonna play Toluca in the semifinals, and we're gonna go into the next round. So that pretty much does it. Let's talk about the last thing about this Toluca matchup, which is the last goal. I don't. Obviously, Alan, you were on the pitch. You were at the Estadio Azteca, so you didn't watch this through a telly.
No, I noticed it
But
later.
huh?
I noticed later.
Yeah, you notice later. Um, Dylan and Axel, you're watching this, and do you notice that it's offside as first, or because I don't even hear the pundits even talking about it?
It was
I
offsides.
mean,
What?
yeah.
What do you mean
Yeah,
it was offsides?
yeah.
I don't remember. Like I don't remember them. I don't remember that being. I remember. I'm one thing I wanted to point out is we're trying to play the offsides trap, which I don't really like, and I don't know why we keep trying to play that.
No,
Dylan, it was all over Twitter.
the thing that happened is that the player that scored, that was Osvaldo Gonzalez, he wasn't offside, but the player that was offside was Rodrigo Salinas, I think. And but the rule says that if there's a player that is going that
Towards the
is
ball.
offside and he goes for the ball, they have to the offside. You can see Edson Alvarez noticing it, and he loses the mark, and Osvaldo Gonzalez scores. But yes, the rule says that if you are offside, if one player is offside and he's going for the ball, they have to mark it. And
Yeah, that's automatically offside, and I think that's the thing, that because the guy who scored it isn't offsides, the pundits were really talking about it, but this should have been a clear offside. I mean, you see the breakdowns on Twitter, picture by picture, frame by frame. The linesman is in perfect view of everything, absolutely perfect view, and he should have called that back. You know, uh, it's ridiculous, but from there on, Toluca go and they score. Like you said, we're trying to play off that offside trap, which these things will happen sometimes. If when you're playing the offside trap, it's not guaranteed 100% of the time. It's guaranteed most of the times, but you know it didn't work out for us this time. And I think the goal comes at a point where maybe America started to get a little bit of a rhythm going. They started, moving up. We started looking a little bit better, and then of course that goal comes in, and then I think after that goal is scored, we automatically just kind of say, okay, it happened. That there wasn't really a response from the team afterwards, which is unfortunately, because I mean it does happen pretty late in the game. 83rd minute of the matchup.
Yeah.
So, what's once that goal goes in the back of the net, what is your guys' thoughts? What are you guys feeling inside? Axel, I'll throw it to you first.
I mean, I felt a little bit of anger because I wanted to keep the undefeated streak. But I mean, if you think about it, there's two good sides. All right, you lose it, but and then I mean, everyone's angry. You lose the streak. You lose 11 games. But the other side, view it this way: the players are gonna come out the next game, gonna come out, play better, and I mean try and play better, and not come out as cocky if we stayed undefeated. So, I mean that wouldn't have like been good at all if we came out cocky in the Liga, thinking we're gonna win it like nothing. But that's what helps us out. Just like put us in our place, and just to keep on working, keep on improving for the Liga, and become champions for both tournaments of Doblete.
Okay, okay. Dylan, what are you feeling inside that goal goes in?
Man, I was mad, man, because just knowing what could have been, whenever we got the second goal, robbed from us, and then Mateos missing that goal, which he should have finished with the way Mateos has been playing, which I don't know, man. It's frustrating, and it makes me mad knowing that we could have been up 2-0 or 2-1. You know, they could have equalized right there too as well. I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It makes me mad seeing that happen whenever all these factors played a part into what's leading up to that too as well. And like you said, I didn't really notice it was offside until you and Alan were talking about it. For me the whole time, I was over here thinking that Edson was just ball watching, and Edson wasn't gonna make a challenge or a play at all until like I realized that. So like that's something I got to go back and like watch now to see you're pointing out, because I didn't really see nothing like that on Twitter or nothing. I thought it was just a legitimate goal.
Yeah. All right, Alan, I'm gonna throw it to you, and I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. What was your reaction? Was it what you were feeling? Was that the same feeling in the Estadio Azteca for all Americanistas?
Yeah, man. Everybody was pissed off. Maybe they didn't know about the offside, but considering that goal in the last minutes, I think although you are the most enthusiastic guy in the Azteca, you know the game was lost. But have you seen the movie Inside Out? I was like the red guy, man. And that was me. And until today, I'm still pissed off.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially us as fans, that we live and die by these colors. So a game like that is it's obviously gonna play on your everyday life, because you feel these colors. You grew up loving these colors, and it's unfortunate that when something like this happens, in a season that we were expected to do wonderful things, which we're still capable of doing that. This goal comes in. It's very frustrating, very, very. I guess I don't really have a word to put on it, but it just sucks in general. It sucks that we concede. We walk away with no points. Toluca, walk away maybe a little bit fortunate that they do walk away with all three. I think a draw maybe would have been fair. I think at this point, if you look back at everything, I think a draw would have been fair enough. But it's unfortunate, and we walk away with nothing, and we're empty-handed. But I think Axel made a very good point. I think we shouldn't look at this as such a negative game. Eventually we were going to lose a game, whether it was this regular season in the Liga, this year alone we were going to lose a game. It's bound to happen. That's life. That's the game. You win, lose, draw. It happens. I would have much preferred this loss versus a Liga one. Axel, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, I would have preferred a million times to lose against Toluca than lose up to an upcoming game against Puebla. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been better to lose against Toluca than Puebla.
I think and I think you made a point too. I think it comes in a good point of the season, because we lose because because Alan said it looked like maybe some of these guys were coming into this matchup with the expectation that we have already won this game because of how we were playing, of how the results were going. And a loss like this in a game where where everything just goes wrong, everything just goes against you, it kind of brings you down a little bit more down to earth, and maybe puts a different mindset in you that, okay, I can't just assume, you can't have this ego play for you. You have to go out there and show it day by day on the pitch. So I think, overall, it could even be a pretty decent result in the long run, because it could kind of shape the mentality of some of these players, and we could see an even better side come out next Saturday against Cruz Azul.
I hope so, man.
I feel like we all hope so too. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think we've addressed everything. Anything else you gentlemen want to talk about the Toluca matchup?
No, I'm fine.
Everyone feels good about it.
Maybe that
Christian says, oh wait, go ahead.
Henry Marti is still not playing, and I hope that with the Menes injury, he plays a lot more. And I think he's going to score the Azul's game.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Against Cruz Azul.
That'd be awesome. Henry's definitely going to be back, especially after the Menes injury, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But hopefully he can keep those scoring boots that he's had in the Champions League, and bring it back to the league. Obviously, he's still our highest goal scorer with 5 goals. He needs to perform on the pitch as well in the league. So hopefully that's what we get to see next Saturday on March 31st. I just want to point out a little bit, Christian. You said that actually the reason why America lost was because I didn't watch the game. We went over it a little bit right before we were talking about this Toluca game. I feel like 99% of everyone at the Eagle iPod family feels like that. But I promise you guys, I'm not gonna miss another game. I'm gonna watch them all live, and we should be good from there. And by my calculations, that means we should win every matchup, or at least not lose, which is preferred. So that's pretty much it. Bitter result, still a bitter taste. Hopefully, a win against Cruz Azul will definitely wipe all that out of our memories, and we can continue the form that we've been going on. Now, before we jump into a little bit about Champions League, let's talk a little bit about a couple of team news. 2 big things. One, we'll start off with Darwin Quintero. It looks like he's almost, but for sure, going to leave the club this season. And it looks like he's packing his bags and he's on his way to Minnesota. What is your guys' take on this? Is Darwin Quintero finally going to leave America? Is he going to make it and he's going to come to the MLS? What are you guys' take? Alan, I'll throw it to you first because I know you're very close to the team. So what's your take on this?
Well, I haven't read that much. It's not a news that I've been following a lot, and there's a little bit of hope that he's leaving the club, but I really don't think he's going to leave. I really hope he's going. He's going to Minnesota, but I don't know. I don't know much of it, but I hope he goes. I hope. Well, maybe because the MLS transfer window closes, I think, the 31st.
Yeah.
Goes.
Yeah. Well, let's hope he does. Axel, I know you looked very happy right there once I started bringing up Quintero leaving.
I mean, I'd love for him to leave. I mean, it's one of like, I don't want to sound like rude or anything, but I hate this player. I hate Darwin. I mean, he hasn't done anything for the club. His wages is so high. I don't know. I just don't like this player. I liked him at first when he first came to the club. Who wasn't hyped? Who wasn't happy for Darwin Quintero to come to America? But for the price he came and for the players that we gave Jesus Molino and Quick Mendoza to Santos on top of money. I mean, it's just anger just to see he hasn't done anything for the club, and for like the price that we paid and the players that we gave isn't fair. He hasn't even done half of what he did in Santos, and I'd love for him to leave. I don't want to see him in my club anymore. I want to see him with the team I love the most. Just getting money just for doing nothing. And I've just seen a couple things that he might leave, he might not, and that it's not probably the $10 million that America wants, but it's around there that is convenient for both clubs. But it'd be good for him to leave finally at last.
That's true. Darwin Quintero is like that credit card you apply for, Dylan, that you think is a good idea, but in the long run, you realize that maybe it was not the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's like my student loan debt right now, man. I don't know when I'm going to pay that off.
A little nerve there. I'm sorry.
No, man, but it's long overdue. It's overdue, man.
It is. It is. Um, so what? Uh, I'm just gonna tell you guys what's been being said over here. I've been keeping a close tab on MLS this season, especially because we're gonna have Toronto FC come in the Champions League semifinal. Now the people here down at the MLS, I was listening to the Extra Time Radio for Major League Soccer. They were talking about it. They were talking about the Daron Quintero. I think one of the insiders for all the transfers negotiation. Because of course, let's remember, uh, the teams don't actually negotiate. It's the league that negotiates with the clubs. So it sounds like the deal's almost but for surely done. We're not gonna get anywhere near that 10 million price that we were asking for. And I think me and you, Dylan, we've talked about this. There's no way we're gonna get that return for that guy, especially now that he's 30 years old. He's not the same Darwin. You can squeeze out maybe 5, but I mean, that's even, that's
Five's
been,
perfect. Five's
hopeful
more.
right there. You know,
Five's more than
they haven't really said exactly what it was going to be, but he's going to be going down to Minnesota United. He's going to be the first ever DP down there at Minnesota. So
right there.
it should be an interesting adventure for Darwin, but a very long overdue one. So obviously there's always been interest there from MLS. I think about a year ago it was San Jose who were looking at him. So I mean the interest has been there. I think it's just the fact that we've wanted a certain amount of money, and and MLS was just like, no, there's no way we're gonna spend that much money on a player. So I think now at this point it's just the players, deciding, finishing off the contract and everything with the league. And yeah, it looks like he could be leaving. I think I saw a tweet that in about a week time that he could be leaving and he could be saying goodbye to the team. So, could be interesting. Could be interesting to see Darwin leave. And do you guys think that we lose maybe a little bit of squad depth if he does leave right now in the season? Axel, I'm throwing that at you
Not
first.
at all. Not at all.
No? Okay,
Player
Alan?
that we don't even need. We don't need him for
Okay.
free. I don't know. Just raffle him up. We don't need him.
All right, Alan?
No, I don't think so, man.
No? Okay. Dylan?
No, not at all. Doesn't even make a dent.
Look at that, man. Wow. Darwin, if you listen to this podcast, I'm so sorry we're so mean.
Hey, I'm about to say something about Darwin. Then maybe he's gonna be sad.
Axel is not the friendliest of person. If you're coming down here to San Diego, do not run up on his block because you are not gonna be welcome. But yeah, so Darwin leaving looks like it's gonna be a possibility. Let's hope so.
Hopefully.
Now, go ahead.
Hopefully, you said.
Yeah, hopefully. Now let's talk a little bit about the Menace injury. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. It looks like. Alan, do you think are they saying more 2 or 3 over there down in Mexico?
2 or 3. I think Herrera said 20 to 25 days, but I think he'll be ready for the Toronto second leg. I think
He'll be ready for the second leg in Toronto. All right, that should be good. I would have liked to have him in the first leg because he's a player that's played in such environments, a very cold weather, places like that. I think he would have been great to have on that first leg in Toronto, but it is what it is. So 2 to 3 weeks out, Dylan. It's not the worst case scenario, but obviously it's not the best case either. What's your take on this?
No, I mean, like you said, not bad. I mean, it's a fetch of FIFA, so he had that time to rest too and recover, and it's kind of bad to say, but it's I guess you could say if he was to get injured any time of the season, I guess you say he got injured at the best time possible right now, which I mean, he's not really gonna miss much besides that first leg, which like you said, I kind of really wanted him there too, but it's also good in a sense too for Henry Martin to get some more playing time. I feel like.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like the only bright thing about this is, hey, we're gonna have Henry Martin back in the starting 11 in the league, and that is, I think everyone's been asking for him. Everyone in their mom has been asking for this guy. So, it's nice to see Henry Martin's gonna get that opportunity again. You think if he scores a couple goals, if he does things right, he kind of takes that spot away from Menace? Any of you?
I don't think so, man.
No, you think Menace still starts after even a
I
good
think he's
performance?
start against Cruz Azul, Toronto, Necaxa, but right after Menez is back, he's going to lose the starting 11 again.
Okay, Axel.
I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Because Piojo said it before. He likes to play with one single forward up top, and he likes Mendes because he's that different kind of player. He's what Henry doesn't offer like a number 9, and like Mendes is that player, that number 10 that can give those passes, can give those crosses, and all of that. That's why I think Piojo keeps on utilizing Mendes as more than Henry.
Okay. Dylan, what's your take? Do you think Henry has a chance to take Menace's spot, or is Menace going to be a starter no matter
Yeah,
what?
for sure. He definitely does, but it comes down to Piojo. Piojo has said it before. He prefers playing with Menes than Henry,
Okay.
playing behind Oribe. Who knows? He might even take Oribe's spot, but I don't think he would because like Oribe's been in the club for a lot longer than Henry, and Oribe's the captain of the team as well. So who knows?
That's true. That's true. Dylan, I'll throw the same question at you.
It's going to be very slim if Henny was to take Menez's spot, but I hate to say it, but I think Menez is going to keep his spot whenever he comes back from injury. I think, like I've said, I think the Menez and Oribe partnership has been coming alive. I think it's been growing, so I feel like Piojo's going to want to work at that more than worrying about the two strikers up top.
Okay. Now I'll ask you guys this question. We've seen that the Menace and Oribe Peralta partnership is growing. It looks like they're starting to find some chemistry. They're starting to build up. They're starting to do better. But I mean, we lose. Do you think this is the right thing to play? Because I feel like we don't have the right players to be playing a 4-2-3-1 formation, because this is basically what we play. Because Menace is not a second striker. Menace is more of a free roam player. He's gonna be, quote unquote, a number 10, but he's gonna move around the pitch as he pleases. You know, is this the right formation? Because Oribe Peralta, as much as he can play the number 9 role, he drops so much. Like he comes and receives the ball halfway in the pitch, where naturally a striker should be up top by himself with the defenders, and let him receive all the action from the other players. Do you think this is the right move by Piojo? Because I feel like Oribe needs someone up there, and Menes is not going to be that player. So do you guys think this is the right move? I mean, do you guys think in the end we can make it work, or should we go back to that 4-4-2? Anyway.
Well, I think the best option is you have starting Martin and Oribe Peralta and Menezes as sub. We see it in the games against Los WAP, Monarcas, that with Henry Martin and Oribe starting, they make their goals in the first half, and then we have Menez coming in the second, and I think that's the best option. And then when you bring Menez as a sub, you changed Cecilio Dominguez or another player, and you have Oribe Peralta and Martin and Menez behind of them, feeding the assist, man. I think that's the best option to start Oribe Peralta and Henry Martin and bringing Menez as a sub.
Dylan, what's your take?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll say it again. I mean, I've even talked about it with you, off the podcast. I still think that 4-4-2 is the way to go. I mean, you see how good it works in the beginning of the season, and then I don't know. For me, it feels like Piojo's like forcing himself to use Menez to start Menez when I don't really think Menez is necessarily 100% still. I feel like he's like right there on the verge. I mean, we talked about it. Whenever he came out, whenever he made his debut, we said Mendes isn't 100%. We've seen some sparks from the guy, but yeah, he was still lacking. The style of the play, getting to know players, and the language barrier might still be a factor a little bit too as well. But I still wish that Piojo would stick with that 4-4-2 formation. I don't know. I just have that feeling that Piojo is forcing himself or being forced to start Mendes and use Mendes as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm with Alan. I feel like Henry and Oribe are the best option, and bringing Menace off the bench at least for this season. I mean, things can change after the World Cup, formations, everything, whatever's. But as the season goes, as of right now, let's play with what we know is working for us, and it's that Oribe and Henry partnership and that 4-4-2. So I guess we'll just leave it at that. Let's hope let's put our faith in Piojo that he won't do us wrong, and he'll guide us to glory. But that's pretty much it. Let's briefly. I want to just briefly touch about Champions League, and then I want to ask a couple of questions to our guest here.
Let me. I want to say something about to close the Menez Martin thing. Also, Herrera will start Menez or Martin. I think we're going to be the champions at the end of the tournament. But it's like the fans want to see Martin play, but if he starts Menez or if he starts Vargas instead of Cruz or Aguilar instead of Alvarez, I think we're going to win the league, and Miguel Herrera will end up as the hero. But because he's the type of guy that wants the spotlight, man.
Yeah.
He feels like the chief of America, and I mean he Santiago Baños is not more than Miguel Herrera in America, and I think also he's not starting the people we would like. I think we're going to be champions as well.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, Miguel Herrera will be the hero of the team.
Nice. I mean, at the end, it's nice to know that there's still faith in the coach. I think ultimately that's what you want, because he's the one in charge of doing that, making the decision. That's his job description. That's his job. You would expect him to make the right ones. And at the end of the day, what constitutes a good season is whether or not you have, trophies on that cabinet. And hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. So that's pretty much wrapping up the Menace talk. Just want to get your guys' thoughts. Champions League. We go up against Toronto FC. I'm pretty sure all of you guys saw what they did to Tigres. You guys confident still, or a little bit, worried about this Toronto FC side? I'll throw it to you first, Axel.
Definitely confident. I mean, we beat him in a friendly match. What was the score again? 6-6.
I don't know, a whole bunch of goals to like 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's a different team. America's used to playing under the pressure. America's used to competing internationally. Unlike Tigres, who, I mean, you can clearly tell they're not experienced as much as we are. But yeah, we're definitely gonna win. I definitely see us winning. Not gonna be an easy match, but we're gonna win, and we're gonna come out of Toronto with a W. So yeah.
Okay, Alan, your take on getting Toronto?
Yes, I'm confident as well. I think we're going to win easily, and we're going to win the Champions League, man. And I'm telling you, we're going to beat Chivas or Red Bulls. We're going to lift that trophy in Azteca.
Nice. Dylan, your take on Toronto?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty confident. I mean, just kind of like what I've told you, we got to leave with that first leg with at least an away goal, because an away goal is important, no matter what, But I feel like we can advance past Toronto and go to the final. And yeah, man, I could see us definitely winning the whole thing.
Okay, I am not as confident as all 3 of you because I still have faith in the team. I still have faith that we can go through. But this is Toronto FC. This is a team that has structured themselves. If you go back through their history book of what they've done every step correctly in MLS, and they have put all their chips on the line in this CCL. That they're throwing away their first half of the season in MLS just so that they can perform in Champions League. So it showcases you what their mentality is. You know, a lot of people talk about is the gap closing, you know, between MLS and Liga MX. It's obviously getting there. But this is a Toronto side that can play well. We saw against Tigres, and you know they're gonna be very, very confident coming into this matchup. And they have this mentality, they have this picture because I've seen it and I've heard it, and I lived through it. Everyone thinks Tigres is the biggest team in Mexico right now in MLS. Everyone thinks, oh, you got Gignac, you got Vargas, you got so and so. You know, everyone thinks Tigres was like the Real Madrid, and since Toronto knocked them out, it's kind of easy cruising. It's not. You know, I would say that we are a better team than Tigres. Maybe not player by player, but as a whole, we're definitely a much better team. We're definitely a much better team. And we're going to showcase it in Toronto. And that's going to be our biggest advantage is they're going to think that they got through Tigres. That was the biggest monster. That's it. It's going to be easy cruising from now on. I think if they come out with that mindset, I think that's going to be our main advantage. But I'm keeping a close tab on Toronto. They lost their Clásico this last Sunday against Montreal. But even in that game, I mean, they still look deadly. They had a couple opportunities that they didn't, you know, put in the back of the net. They're going to be coming into this matchup ready. And we should too, you know. And we'll obviously talk about it a little bit more when we get closer to the matchup. But I'm not as confident because I feel like this is a Toronto FC said that we're going to have to show a lot of respect, but we're going to have to go out there and showcase that there can only be one grande in Mexico. That's obviously is us. That's obviously has to be us. So that's pretty much it for CCL. Now I want to get to a little bit of a Q&A with our guests right here before we wrap up the show. I'll throw it to you guys. A very simple question. How long have you been an America fan, and why are you an America fan? So I'll throw it to you first, Alan.
I'm an America fan since 2012. I'm a very young America fan, and because I don't know, I share a lot of things with America. I like big teams. The team that has the most trophies. I don't know. I really like America, but I didn't born being Americanista, so I don't know. It just called me.
Interesting. Not a lot of people would have imagined this. Not a lot, but I'm shocked to hear it too. Since 2012, okay, that's awesome. Axel, how long have you been Americanista?
I mean, I've been Americanista since I was a little baby, I guess. My dad would put me on jerseys back of the old jerseys, and all that. I'd be having them on, and they wouldn't even fit me. But when I actually turned, the memory I most remember of being Americanista was that night, the final against Cruz Azul. The whole family's watching it. Everyone's mad. We're down. Mosquera scores that goal. I'm the only one that celebrates. I remember perfectly. I celebrate the goal of Mosquera, but none of them they don't celebrate it because like the game was over. But at the very end, once Munoz scores that goal, everyone's yelling. You hear everyone yelling, screaming the goal. That's the memory I remember the most of being Americanista. But in that final, that's when I actually started like knowing more about the club, more interested in supporting the club.
Nice, interesting, nice. Dylan, I want to ask you because we already went through this whole Q&A with us. But anything you want to ask our guests in regards to to them?
No, yeah, I don't got nothing on top of my head. I don't right now.
Okay, then I'll keep it rolling because I do want to say something. Axel is our youngest ever guest on the show. Axel, how old are you? Let the people know, how old are you?
16. I'm 16.
16 years old, Axel. So thank you for coming on the show. It's been awesome having you. At 16 years old, you know, you're still very young. I think we're all still pretty young, to be honest. It's a very young lineup here because, you know, it's cool, man. It's cool. You're from San Diego, correct?
I mean, not exactly from San Diego, but I'm from Carlsbad. That's where I live.
Okay,
I don't know if you
awesome.
know the city. Yeah.
No, no, but you're
Near
close to San Diego,
Oceanside.
correct?
Yeah, yeah. Like 30 minutes.
Nah, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
30 minutes, not bad. Um, Now I'm gonna go to you, Mr. Allen. First of all, from all of us down here that are at the Eagle Eye Podcast, we want to wish you a very happy late birthday. We know it was your birthday last week, so happy birthday to you, my guy. How have you been enjoying it?
Very good, man. I just arrived from Madrid. As you know, I live in Madrid, and I arrived the day of my birthday in Friday, and it has been very muy tranquilo. And 19 years old, man. I know. I'm not a someone that celebrates their birthday a lot. I don't like being older, but you know, it's been good here. Thank you.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Like we said, happy birthday. You arrived to Mexico from Madrid. Are you from Mexico or from Spain?
No, I'm from Mexico. I'm studying only in Madrid.
So you're studying in Madrid. What are you studying to be, my man?
Sports management.
Sports management. Awesome. Awesome. How's it like over there in Madrid?
Very good. A lot of soccer, a lot of football.
I would imagine, right?
Yeah, a
It's
lot of.
that's amazing. That's amazing. You're in Madrid. Um, awesome. I want you to talk a little bit about La Resaca Americanista and how what your involvement is with them and exactly, you know, just give the listeners a brief description of what it is that you guys do.
Yes, we are a sports media. The first sports media that is official in the club. We are acreditados, and we are the first sports press that is acreditada in Estadio Azteca, CONCACAF. That is not like we're not professionals, man. We're only like you, like any Americanista that wants to be a journalist, a sports journalist, and I don't know. We've been lucky. We've been working very hard, and now we're like I told you the first sports press that is like Americanista and that is acreditada.
That is amazing. You guys are, have your credentials to be there. I see everything that you guys do, and it's I've actually followed you guys from close to your guys' beginning. When you guys were just kind of like a fan page, getting news out, stuff like that. And I've seen how you guys have grown. It's actually been amazing. And to be honest, I've told Dylan this, but I've always wanted to do something like this. I've always wanted to do something about the club, whether it was a podcast, a blog, whatever it may be. And one of the main reasons was because I saw you guys and how well and how much success you guys were having, that it kind of inspired me to kind of follow in your guys' footsteps. And really, I want to thank you guys, all of you guys down there who are part of the Great Resaca Americanista, because what I see you guys do is you guys are opening windows for a lot of people as well. I see you guys tweeting about, who wants to collaborate, who wants to be going to the games, who wants to be the cameraman, this and that. I think I can't hail you guys enough for all the great work you guys are doing down there.
Thank you, man. It means a lot.
So, I mean, it's awesome. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for supporting us. You have been a great supporter of our journey, and we continue. And I think from me and Dylan's perspective, I think you're a very good friend to us and the show as well. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone down there at La Resaca Americanista. Make sure, if you guys don't know who they are, make sure you guys go on their Twitter. I'll link in the description so you guys can check them out. Absolutely top amazing work, and I can only imagine you guys are going even further in your guys' journey. So thank you so much. Thank you to both of you who made it out here. Axel, thank you for joining and making this one of your experiences as well. Thank you for everything. Thank you to everyone of you guys who have listened and really been contributing to this. We're only starting, and we've already seen the great reception that you guys have showed us. Dylan, anything else we want to say to these gentlemen or to anyone out there before we close off the show?
Just thank y'all again for coming. We always appreciate it. It just shows that y'all support us and y'all want to interact with us, join us any way y'all can, and help in supporting this podcast that we've started in English too. And so just thanks for everything, guys.
Thank you, guys. And that pretty much it. That's episode 12. Thank you guys for joining us. It's a little longer than expected, but either way, it was a great time hanging out with you guys. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, like I said, at Eagle iPod. If you guys ever miss a live show, you guys can always find us on iTunes and SoundCloud as well. And as always, you guys can take us on the go. Thank you again, gentlemen, for coming by. Thank you, Dylan, as always, for being the co-host of the Eagle Eye podcast. And thank you to everyone who's listened to this point. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in Arriba la America. Bye.